Muslim faithful in Cameroon pray for peace and serenity to reign in across the nation during the Eid al-Fitr celebrations today as they join their Muslim brothers and sisters all across the globe to celebrate the end of the 30-day long period of fasting in the Islamic calendar, as this is one of the prerequisites of Islam. We bring to you colorful ceremonies that took place all across some major Islamic prayer grounds in the country. And total cry keeps on pouring after the gruesome murder of journalist Ngo Yebe, whose remains were found dismembered inside two travelers' bags beside a stream in the Nsam neighborhood of Yaoundé. Good evening to you all. Salam alaikum to all everyone. You are welcome to High Prime of Wednesday, the 10th of April 2024. For presentation, I am attending Larry Kevin Tabot. We start off with one of our lead stories. As we did mention, Muslim brothers and sisters all across Cameroon and beyond the nation are celebrating the Eid celebrations. That is the end of the 30-day fasting period of Muslim. In the town of Boya, the spiritual Muslim leader of the Muslim community in Boya, Sheikh Muhammad Abu Bakr, called on the celebrants to focus or to be courageous and focus towards the things of Allah, meanwhile calling on them to make sure that they registered massively for the upcoming general elections that will be coming up in next year 2025. With details on that story with our reporter. Muslim faithful in Boya join their Islamic brothers and sisters in Cameroon and beyond to celebrate the Eid al-Fitr celebration that marks the end of the 30 days long fast of Ramadan.
The first heart is a healthy heart, but it requires continuous maintenance. And so Ramadan is a means to continuously arrange and maintain that heart. Then the sick heart is a heart that requires permanent reminder. And reminding will be in terms of situations like Ramadan that will come to make the prayers associating with persons who know what it takes to be a faithful, and what the third heart will be a dead heart. A dead heart that is not responding to anything that has to do with good for humanity, even to its own self. This is what we thought that after going through Ramadan, and Ramadan is such an auspicious period where persons who go through it come out as newborn babies.
Preaching to hundreds of Muslim faithful, the spiritual leader of the Muslim community in Boya, on his part, re-emphasized on the circumcision of the heart.
Man has negated an aspect in the body which is the center of the nerve, the heart. So the heart, we thought that it's good for people to know exactly what role that heart can play. We have the heart we have three hearts. The first heart is a healthy heart, and the second heart is a sick heart, and the third heart is a dead heart. And if you look at these three hearts, the first heart is a healthy heart, but it requires continuous maintenance. And so Ramadan is a means to continuously arrange and maintain that heart. Then the sick heart is a heart that requires permanent reminder. And the reminding will be in terms of situations like Ramadan that will come to make the prayers associating with persons who know what it takes to be a faithful, and what the third heart will be a dead heart. A dead heart that is not responding to anything that has to do with good for humanity, even to its own self.
With the general elections in Cameroon just at the corner, the central imam of the Boya Central Mosque called on all to massively get registered on Elecams registered.
We're getting an electoral year. The electoral year means that you want to elect somebody who will determine the life of the state. If you don't go and register, then you keep complaining. Who do you want to change the situation for you? The Lord God says in Noble Quran that if he has made a situation good, he will not change the situation of a person until he changes it by himself. So if you want a good situation, please you need to change. If you know that where you are is not good, you need to change. And changing, there is a procedure, which means that you have to get registered, then you go and vote for somebody you want of your choice, so that you have a good calendar that can help you in planifying the issues of the state. So this is what we advise ourselves and the youth, in fact the entire Muslim community, not to stay behind, that go ahead.
The celebrations that was characterized by heavy downpour that didn't retard some followers of Allah as some top regional officials like the Secretary General of the Southwest Governor's Office, Acha Gilbert Quenty, who all graced the ceremony. Something some worshippers re-echo of the importance of the day.
Yeah, like one of the 5 pillars in Islam, we are told to observe fasting in our book as it was prescribed to the book before us, the gospel of Jesus Christ and the Torah which Moses brought. So it's one of our pillars, which reminds us that it was also instructed for the best people to do.
After prayers were being offered, the spiritual leader of the Muslim community in Buea led the visiting delegation to visit the ongoing construction work of the Islamic complex in Buea.
Which is accessing the second cycle already, and why not the university? They make a place where they can prepare them spiritually in order to be good citizens. And they leave from school, they walk up into the masjid, they pray, and it's a whole center, because here is going to be one of the iconic buildings in Buea once it's completed. So we need your contribution.
With some fervent followers like the Nigerian Consul General for the Southwest and Northwest region, His Excellency Lawa Bapa, and others who graced this celebration, the Islamic community in Buea prayed for peace to reign in Cameroon and social cohesion to continue being a thing in the nation and beyond. In that satellite, Muslim faithful and all followers of Allah in the town of Limbe in the Southwest region has equally been called upon to be steadfast as they go around with their daily routine. This was during the celebrations of the Earthfield celebrations that took place in one of the prayer grounds in the town of Limbe, as it was conducted by the spiritual leader of the Limbe Muslim community, as our reporter Aris Lekeliengu Ikomi fights in this report from Limbe.
After the announcement made by the National Lunar Crescent Commission of Cameroon confirming the sighting of the moon at Betuna and Baturi, and the information being confirmed and relayed by His Majesty Mohamedou Saloum, Muslim faithful in the Limbe municipality joined others across the nation to observe the feast of Ramadan. At the Newtown prayer ground, the Imam Ismail Bashiru at the Central Mosque call on the faithful to always remain steadfast to Allah.
Transition that is going through on the Women's Day, but it still happen as if the message have not yet reached to the people to understand that they have to protect the women. So that is one of the reasons that we use it as the topic of our sermon today, to remind the people, to remind the faithful, to remind the nation about the importance of women in our society. And also to use the opportunity to inform the faithful to denounce any act of violence, because we start a bit and we neglect that maybe something that will stop, and finally at the end when we realize there is a death. So in order to prevent, to save the life, that is why.
It is worth noting that during the month of fasting, Muslims were advised to abstain from sex, alcohol, and to eat between dawn and night, among other things. The month is also characterized with almsgiving and other charitable activity. Prayers in Limbe took place under the watchful eyes of the Divisional Officer of Limbe 1, the Limbe City Mayor, amongst others.
We crossed over to something else, where the Cameroon's Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atsanganji, has frowned at the two major telecommunication companies in the country, that is MTN and Orange Cameroon, whose different bosses were drilled by Paul Atsanganji to get their act set between now and 60 days that he is giving them as ultimatum for yet to be identified subscribers that are causing havoc in the far north region, the southwest and the northwest region, as they have now resorted to kidnapping and calling for ransom from their various abductors or family members of those who have been held in captivity by the said terrorists or criminal gangs that are operating in these three restive regions of the country. Paula Tanganji says enough is enough, as those that are selling on SIM cards that have not been identified have now come to the end of the road. His ultimatum goes a long way to make sure there is serenity in the telecommunication sector in the country. Away from that, let's move on to something else. This time around, the gruesome murder of a journalist whose body was found beside a stream in the Nsam neighborhood of Yaoundé. The such journalist Ngo Yebe, who has been reported missing since Saturday, later on her corpses were found beside the stream after she was gruesomely murdered and decapitated, as the said remains were being deposited in two travelers' bag and placed beside a stream. This has caused a lot of outcry in Cameroon and beyond, as Aishamban tells us more.
The city of Yaoundé has once again been plunged into darkness as news emerged of the brutal murder of Ngo Yebe, a journalist working with the Central African Forest Commission, COMIFAC. The victim's body was reportedly found in the Sam neighborhood, reminiscent of previous heinous acts that have stained the city's reputation. She was said to be dedicated to environmental preservation and biodiversity protection as a communication officer within the COMIFAC, making her death not only a personal tragedy but also a blow to the vital work she championed. The Environment and Information in Central Africa, RECENIAC, in response to the horrific incident, has issued a strong statement condemning the senseless violence and calling for swift justice. Found at the stream site in the morning, she was brutally sliced into parts. The organization, on their part, expressed profound condolence to the deceased family and colleagues, while emphasizing the need for a thorough investigation to ensure that those responsible are held accountable. Yebe's murder is not only an assault on her dignity, but also a threat to freedom of expression and the safety of journalists and environmental activists. RECENIAC has called on the Cameroon government to prioritize the safety and security of its citizens and to take decisive actions to address the underlying issues that have led to such atrocities.
Still in the light of the killing of the journalist Ngo Yebe, let's take a listen to a rights activist, Nadieba Akwen, who spoke angrily on the rate of femicides that is fast rising in Cameroon, and for the reintroduction of death penalty for those that are found guilty of perpetrating such gruesome murder like that of late Yebe Ngo. Let's take a listen to Omba now.
The law of the penalty of death should be reinstalled amongst the laws in Cameroon. You see, laws are put in place to safeguard the discipline of a society and its citizens. For example, let's take what's happening in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia still practices the law of Moses, okay? An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. And this makes the society a little bit holy, okay? It scares a lot of people from committing some certain atrocities. But in Cameroon, someone will tell you, if I commit this crime, I'm going to go to jail. I will save my jail sentence and I'm out. Nothing has, some even pay, okay? You're going to kill somebody. You're going to take the life of a woman, take the life of a man. You're going to embezzle state funds and you go, you save your jail sentence and you come out, nothing happens. If the laws of Cameroon do not safeguard the discipline of its society and its citizens, that law is weak. So I think that the law of the death penalty should be reinstalled, not only because of the uprising rate of femicides across the triangle, but because of the so many ills we are having. State embezzlers, they are killers. Once you embezzle billions, you're killing a society. And you go to jail, you sit your jail sentence, and you're out. But if the death sentence penalty is out, it will scare a lot of these embezzlers. It will scare a lot of these people who are killing people's children. People who are killing women in the north, extreme north, in the northwest, in the southwest region. People who have killed this journalist who recently died. A journalist died on Monday. She was found dead. A female journalist, and her body parts mutilated. If we get the culprits, they'll send them to jail. They're going to serve their jail sentence and they're going to leave. But if these people are being caught and they are killed, it's going to scare others from committing the same atrocity. So I think that the law of the death penalty should be reinstalled, because if the laws of our society or of our country, Cameroon, cannot safeguard the discipline of its society and its citizens, those laws are weak. It is something the government has to reconsider. It is something our parliamentarians have to reconsider, because they're out to vote laws, okay? Propose and vote laws, okay? And these should be on their table. The uprising rate of ills amongst us, femicide, infanticide, embezzlers, and all other ills, it's so alarming. People just do anything because they know they're going to save their jail sentence and they leave. Some will pay. But if the death sentence is installed, a lot of things will reduce, okay? The society will not be holy, but the ills will be reduced to a certain level. Thank you.
You are watching High Prime if you are just joining us, and we are beaming live from our news studio here in High Television. We move on to something else, this time around sport, where the Central Regional Delegation to the FENASCO A Games organized by the Ministry of Secondary Education has just emerged overall winner or overall best delegation to that competition that just ended in Mokundange in Limbe, as they were able to secure 51 medals on the classification table, making them to be the overall best. As such, Minister Nalova Lyonga of Secondary Education called on the students to continue upholding the spirit of sportsmanship, as next year's appointment has been taken for the town of Ambombang in the East region, as Alice Kelengwe Kome reports.
The 24th edition of the National FENASCO League A Games has ended up in Limbe, with participative athletes called to strive for excellence and uphold the spirit of sportsmanship in upcoming competitions. The closing ceremony was chaired by the Minister of Secondary Education, Professor Nalova Lyonga. Over 3,500 athletes and coaches from the national territory were engaged in diverse sporting activities. The Mayor of the Limbe City Council congratulated the population of Limbe for their traditional hospitality during the FENASCO game period.
I attach a lot of importance to this particular FENASCO A game, and I want to tell you that I am very, very happy because it was colorful. It was fantastic. The students have shown their skills, showcase their skills, and you can see unity in diversity, you can see social cohesion, you can see living together, and most importantly, the town of Friendship and Opportunity has been these days booming, you know, animating. The whole area has been animated by
Central Region emerges as overall winner with 33 gold medals, 10 silver and 8 bronze, making 51 medals in total. Extreme North and West Region in the second and third position respectively. The host Southwest Region came at the 6th position with 5 gold medals, 5 silver and 6 bronze. Central Region emerges as overall winner with 33 gold medals, 10 silver and 6 bronze, making 51 medals in total. Extreme North and West Region in the second and third position respectively. The host Southwest Region came at the 6th position with 5 gold medals, 5 silvers and 6 bronze.
I'm the queen of the game with 4 gold medals, 400 meters, 400 meters, 400 meters and long jump. My impression for the game was very easy for me because of hard training. I make a training block of 2 weeks and I'm very satisfied for my.
The ceremony saw the handing over of the Olympic flag to the Abongbang in the West region as the next host.
And this is being handed over. We move on to the far north region in the town of Marua, where White Flames has consumed one of the factories of the Cameroon Cotton Industrial Company, known in French as Sode Coton. The White Flames that are yet to be established as a result of that inferno has consumed more than 200 tons of cotton that were harvested from the Sode Coton's farm. This has left so many persons dumbfounded on the manner and magnitude in which the damage caused by the wildfires, as we have the complete report from our reporter Aishambe.
Sode Coton, the Cotton Development Corporation, have been victim of a violent fire incident which engulfed part of the company based in Marua, Far North region on April 9, 2024. According to reports, the fire broke out early in the afternoon in one of the company's warehouse before spreading. The origin of the fire has not yet been determined, but significant material damage was recorded with about 200 tons of cotton ruined. In the words of the company, the flames were contained thanks to the assistance of the elements of the firefighting team who descended on the scene in an effort to quench the ravaging flames. That the blaze was brought under control after a long period of fierce struggle. Informed about the incident, the governor of the region, Mijiyawa Bakari, and his close collaborators rushed to the site to galvanize the rescue operation. The governor stated that with the efforts that have been done by the fire brigade, some materials have been secured. He also urged the population to be vigilant, not to be victim of such happening in the future. According to recent reports from the Rehabilitation of Public and Parapublic Sector Enterprises, City Aru, at the end of the 2021-2022 cotton campaign, Sode Coton produced 32,921 tons of seed cotton compared to the previous financial year.
On to our sports page now. Victoria United of Limbe has continued securing good points for themselves after a resounding victory over Canon Sportif of Yaoundé. Knowing what was at stake, Victoria United of Limbe unleashed their tactics on Canon Sportif of Yaoundé in a 3-0 victory that was played during the MTN Elite One championship season, as they now secure the third position on their classification table. We have details on that sport report with Ngo News Sonita.
Losing 2 consecutive games, Victoria United unleashed her anger on Canon Sportif of Yaoundé as the side won 3-0 at the Bona Moussa Stadium, playing a goalless first 45 minutes of play. The next segment saw a new fighting spirit from Victoria United that saw Richmond G deliver a brace and Wilfred Nathan score from the penalty spot. To be Panama controls for Victoria United, what is happening this afternoon? Wilfred Nathan to one of Victoria United. He plays alongside to it's a goal! And yes, Victoria United outward scores at Moussa Stadium, and that is from Enacho with an assist. The non-sportive, who has recorded just 2 points in 5 games, stands at the bottom on the classification table after this defeat from Victoria United. Meanwhile, Victoria United moves from the 5th to the 3rd position with 9 points, immediately behind Cotton Sport of Garoua with equal points with just goal difference separating the both teams. Cotton Sport, who has been impatiently waiting for Victoria United, will battle together on Friday 12 at the Mbapelepe Stadium, just like the battle between Victoria United and Cotton Sport of Garoua at 4 p.m. Young Sports Academy will equally battle with Canon at the same time, same day. The second game of the day saw Dynamo of Douala split points with Colombe Sportif of Nja and Lebo, ending up on a 1-1 odd time. Dynamo fans, despite the back-to-back defeats and draws, have continued to cheer their players thanks moves.
On to our entertainment page for tonight. On the sad note, one of Africa's finest actor in the person of Junior Pope, alongside some 3 others, are dead as a result of a boat accident over there in one of the rivers in Delta State in southeastern Nigeria as a result of poor weather condition, and coupled to the fact that none of them were putting on a life jacket when they were traveling along that river as they were returning from a set as they were returning from shooting a movie set over there in the southeastern part of Nigeria. The death of the set entertainer, who was born and raised in Bamenda in Cameroon, in northwest Cameroon, is one that is bringing a lot of shock this evening across to several persons who actually were thrilled by his acting tactics. We'll bring you detail in our subsequent newscast on how the set bodies of the victims whereby Junior Pope was among in our subsequent newscast. Viewers of High Television, with that, it's on that note that we wrap up this edition of the newscast on High Prime on High Television this Wednesday evening of special day to Muslim faithful, as we wish them all back at Salah. Good night from the news crew. Until tomorrow, 8 a.m. Good night.